I think what I was most enthused about the budget was the health insurance which is being provided for a very, very large sector of the country's population. That is something which really enthused me. The other areas which strikes one is the push on infrastructure, which of course is a continuing push in a larger and larger manner, as well as skill development and education. These are the three large areas. Roads were spoken about, connecting villages, very extremely positive on these areas. What would needs to be seen is the implementation as far as these matters are concerned. Coming to direct taxes, one was really looking forward to the roadmap which the finance minister had laid down in its very first budget of bringing down corporate rates to 25%. Unfortunately, we are really going the other way around. While larger businesses have been brought down, the threshold for the smaller businesses has been enhanced significantly in this budget. But it really leaves out a very, very large portion of the companies which actually pay the taxes. One realizes the constraints he has about collecting money. He had spoken about several years ago withdrawing deductions, most of which have been withdrawn. There's this very interesting deduction which the chamber itself had been pushing and had been recommending, very enthused on the fact that that had been accepted and in fact expanded from year to year. Last year too we had an expansion on the deduction which relates to employment. The employment generation is the need of the hour. The chamber totally supports the activities of the government on employment generation. Unfortunately, we've not seen statistics on to what extent it has worked, this deduction. It's a very relevant one, but one doesn't see those numbers. One would have expected it to be made much more easier. Like for instance, one of the aspects which he did touch upon was that if you employ somebody at a later part of the year, you may not qualify the number of days the person needs to be employed. So long as he continues to be employed in the next accounting year with a lower threshold in the first year, the deduction would be available. Very positive, but I would have expected a much more simplification on the employment related threshold. The capital gains, I think the amount of hype which had been created or the scare which had been created around the capital gains being reintroduced effectively took away the thunder or the concern on it. There is an additional 10%, I suppose, in a larger context, considering it is unearned income, which you will pay tax at 10% and you pay taxes at almost 35% on your earned income. One shouldn't be grumbling about the capital gains.